take number 2, partially because I don't know how my old webcam works. Alright, hi, I'm Tim Teeter, I'm from Larkcraft. I'm known as Dieter Wilhelmsson or Thorgeir Freyson. You'll probably see Dieter more doing the metal work than anything. From Wilhelm Colony, I'm the chief elder in the Minnesota area, and hopefully today I get to show you chainmilling. I also work at the Renaissance Festival. Go figure, I look like a Viking. That's what I do for, I wish, a living. Okay, so let's get to it. After talking away. Most of the time, when you work with chainmilling, you just want 2 of these. Makes your life easier. Fortunately, mine disappeared, so we're going with this just to hold it, and this to bend it. Alright, so I'm going to show you a nice, simple 4-in-1 chainmail patterning, because that's most of the time all you're going to need for regular chainmilling. I'm not going to get into fancier stuff because it really doesn't matter too much, especially with butted. Alright, so when you start with butted, always look for basically a near perfect ring. This is going to be the one that never fails on you. And then you put 4, opened ones granted, but once you close it, it'll be better. So there's 1 ring. You gotta close it. This one I have to bend a little, so trying to show you while I bend it, so you get an idea how things work. Okay, so you see how this holds. This slowly gets things bent to where I want it. Okay, now just try to close it. It won't close the whole way though. It's just something you kind of have to accept. Okay, you will see a small little opening, but that's not going to hurt much. Especially, big test is you take the 2 opening areas and you try to pull. I'm pulling relatively as hard as I can. It's about as much weight as your actual chainmail will ever be. It's not quite perfect. We can fix that just a tad. Basically, you want everything ring-like. Get it close to ring-like as possible. It'll just make things better. If I can... here we go. Be very careful. It sucks having to try to find these on the ground. They will fly off. And if you do not find them all, they will clog your vacuum cleaner, and bad things will happen. I can just close, just normal. Okay, so the rings I'm working with are steel, not aluminum, not titanium, steel. Now, this is probably some of the most historical accurate thing you can do. Everyone had steel. You can work with iron, but you gotta pretty much forge it in order to bend it. Steel will bend after a certain amount of time, but just go with just standard steel. The reason why I'm really doing this is because I'm going to get riveted chainmail pretty soon. Riveted being, it's basically like butted, only with when you can actually close it, and when you close it, it just makes it stronger. But butted is just so much easier to work with. It's really a give and take system on chainmilling. And then the other thing is, this is not for the impatient people. You have to be a very, very patient person in order to do this craft. You just can't wake up one day and go, I want to do chainmilling. You will hate yourself. You will question your life, like I have. And then you start to think the cost effectiveness here. Is it really worth your time and effort to make this? Alright, this one isn't a perfect ring. But doing the test, you know, it's not coming out. Doesn't have to be perfect. We'll just move on. Maybe try to tweak it here a little. Problem is, chainmail is very springy. Now, you're probably wondering where I got all these rings from. It was from an anklet that I won off of someone, and I was going to give it to someone, but they wanted it in a particular way, and they wanted it lengthened to fit their ankle. So I ended up stripping off some, adding some, and pretty much majority of the time when you deal in chainmail, you want to take from the original piece, or be able to get the rings from the original piece, because all rings are different. You almost will never come across two rings being the same. Two ring types being the same. So it's just better to try to find the originals. In fact, I think... Yep. Like, I will show you, for instance, the difference. I was working on another project not that long ago. This is the ring from that project. This is the ring from this current project. Different. And it will show up. And it will make your life miserable. So let's finish up this 4-in-1 pattern, and then I will get on to how to combine them, because yeah, it's all fine and dandy to have a 4-in-1, but how do you connect them to make something? Okay, so for the sake of showing you quick, here's a nice little simple quick 4-in-1. Alright, so I'm going to try to move up camera. As much as it's going to go, and that kind of works. Alright, so set them up. Nice and easy. Set them pretty close. Alright, so I'm going to show you the simple one-ring way to do it. I'm just doing a simple lengthening. So this is when facing kind of matters. Once you figure it out, it just makes it easier. So right now, they're facing kind of against each other. Can't have that. You need them facing all the same direction, or you're just going to have a bad time. Alright. Still can see that? Yep. This is the area I'm working on. Don't worry about these. Alright. So we grab a ring. And of course, I did it wrong. You have to check, double check, check again, because this is the part where you don't want to mess up on. You have to essentially weave it. You have to make it all look the same. So, I'm going to just pull this ring a little more. Am I showing on the camera? There we go. Pulling this ring just to make it a little bigger. Because I'm just going to simply insert it, loop it around. Okay, so we'll start with these two rings down here. Like I said, now it matters how you kind of face everything, because you essentially want to just keep the pattern going. If you can keep the pattern going, you're doing good. Okay, so this is where things get hard. It's natural things get hard. It is how you know you're doing it right. Okay. Now, you also gotta look on, like, the positioning, how rings are faced, and all that fun stuff. And like I said, when I get the riveted chainmail, that's when things get a lot more difficult faster. Because the thing is, you just don't want to have it bunched. If it's bunched, it just doesn't work as armor. And my hands are just completely in the way. Okay. Maybe expand out just a little bit more. Woo, two, there we go. One more. There we go. Alright. This is just, all this is finicky work. Like I said. You just need to figure out how much time you're willing to put in. So, the way this is going to work, you want these two to slide in as so. Then these two slide in as so. Be very careful not to get any extra rings, because then you bunch up. And once you bunch up, then it's harder to figure out which ring does not belong where once you close it. Alright, so now you see it's all one continuous looking weave now. And since now it's like this, you can grab it carefully, because now you got to close it. Once you close it, you got the pattern in. This is the time when it doesn't kind of matter how you handle it. Just make sure everything is shut. Once everything's shut, you're good to go. And like I said, 2 needle nose pliers. You want 2 of them. Makes your life easier. Right. And that's shut. Okay. This is kind of a small pattern, so it's harder to show, but it's not impossible. It just takes a little finesse. Okay. I know I didn't tangle it, so it should be ideally fine. Oh, just something flipped. And this happens. Alright. So, the thing is, I did something wrong. I think. I just gotta see if something can flip over. Ah! I think. Yep. Alright, so, unfortunately, I put them in a weird position. If I can do it right, I can see if I can flip that. It just takes a lot of playing around. Yeah, I've got that all flipped up, so. Ooh, not to mention tangled. You want everything facing the right way. You want everything facing the proper way. Just because otherwise your things are just not going to work out for you. Ah, there we go. Most of the time it's just a matter of playing with it. Alright, you see how nice that pattern is? It's nice, weaved. Alright. But that's not enough. You need more chainmail. So we'll try to put some on the side. This is one thing, you can have one bang going, and that's great and all, but no, you want at least a sheet so you can start working with stuff. Alright, so first things first, you set everything kind of to face each other like that. Take your handy dandy ring, extra ring. I don't know if it's easier to do with it. It seems easier to just go with the long chain link, but for the sake of showing, I got to do it this way, and I'm going to hate myself. All right, so essentially, you want to duplicate the two middle rings that you see. You want to duplicate that pattern, so when you look at it, you know that the ring needs to go kind of be like, it's got to be tilted upwards. So obviously that's there, and this is here. Like I said, this is just time to be patient. Take your time. You're not going to be fast overnight. The only reason why I can even go at this speed is I've been working on chain milling for probably 7 weekends straight when I was working at Fest. That was really the main job was just repair. Okay, since this is pretty much a dead-on set straight ring, I'm just going to clamp it shut. Ooh, okay. I messed that up. I have to... The other thing is, you do not want to bend these too much. You bend them, you break them. If you break them, you gotta get new ones. Sometimes, you don't have that luxury. And be careful, for the goodness of your fingers, to not pinch them. I can just see, oh, Tim showed me this. You can get blamed for it. Like I said, this is a massive amount of... It's a game of patience. You can't have this. This is, it's okay if it's skewed a little, but you just can't have it that bad. Alright, I think I fixed it. And it's pretty solid. So, yeah. So, now, until you get it a nice big sheet where you can actually look at it, it's just going to be a little bunch. It's always going to just look like a bunched up thing of rings. Just take your time and just, you got to play with it. You need to get it out to a certain point so it just looks like a sheet. If you can get that, know what's on the sides. Not look so bunched up. Okay. I think I found just kind of, like I said, it's just a matter of playing with it. Because you saw that I did it right. And I use right in quotations right now. Yeah, that's supposed to be hooked up on 1, 2, 3, and 4. It is a... I will show you, and once I learn it myself, I will show you an easier way to do this. Alright. It's a little bunched. That ring there is just not cooperating with me. Ooh. I wonder why it's not cooperating. There's... Yeah, that's not a... There we go. Okay, so there's that. Flip those. Maybe? Like I said, sometimes it just requires you to play with it. Ha! Okay, there's that one. I did have this before. It's not this jumbled up. Because the way it's supposed to work is on every single ring, it's always a 4-in-1 pattern. Always 4-in-1. Every ring there's like one ring with 4 rings always attached to it. It would be pretty plain to see. If I started off bigger, maybe it would have worked out better. Let's just say I got lots more training to do. A lot more training. Alright, well, I will have pictures for you shown below. Maybe this might have helped you, maybe it just might have confused you more. What you really want to do, have 2 of these. These things will make your life easier. It will make this go a lot smoother. It will make it so it doesn't bunch up as much. So, hope that helps. I'll post another video the second I get things fixed up.